I didn't go looking for the journal. That part matters. It wasn't hidden or locked away or glowing with importance. It was sitting quietly in a thrift store, pressed between things people had already decided were useless. No title. No name. Just a dark cover that felt heavier than it should have been. When I opened it, every page was blank. Perfectly blank. Not old. Not yellowed. Clean in a way that felt wrong. I remember thinking it looked unfinished, like it was waiting. I bought it without a reason I could explain, brought it home, set it on my desk, and forgot about it, until it stopped being empty. The first sentence appeared overnight. I know it did because I checked the journal before going to sleep. I always double-check blank things. The writing was mine. Same slant. Same pressure. Same mistakes. The sentence said I didn't like the sound the house made when it thought I was asleep. I read it twice before laughing, quietly, trying to shake the feeling crawling up my spine. Then the hallway floor creaked. Slowly. Carefully. Like it had heard me reading. After that, the journal never filled quickly. It added words the way someone tests water with their fingers. A paragraph at a time. Each one describing something I was afraid of but had never said out loud. Not dramatic fears. Small ones. Corners of rooms. Silence after midnight. The sense that something familiar could change while you weren't looking. What scared me wasn't how accurate the entries were. It was that they always came first. The fear followed later. Eventually, the journal started giving instructions. Not suggestions. Rules. It told me not to tear out pages. Not to show it to anyone who didn't already know. I didn't know who that meant, but my hands shook when I thought about ignoring it. One morning, I tried leaving the journal behind. I found it in my bag anyway. Heavier. Open. As if it had moved on its own and wanted me to notice. The journal began writing about silence. About how quiet doesn't mean nothing is happening. About how silence stretches and presses until you start listening for things you don't want to hear. That night, the power went out across my street. No lights. No phone signal. Just the sound of my breathing. And then the sound of paper shifting on my desk. When I turned on a flashlight, the journal was closed. But it had added another paragraph. One entry talked about my fear of people changing without warning. The next day, someone greeted me with a name no one there should have known. A name from years ago. When I asked how they knew it, they looked confused and told me I'd said it myself. The journal later explained that people don't notice changes until they become dangerous. Fear is what sharpens the edges. The journal started writing about mirrors. About how reflections show what you expect, not what's real. That night, I stood in my bathroom longer than I should have, waiting for something to lag or shift. When I finally looked away, I checked the journal. The newest sentence ended halfway through a word, like someone had stopped writing suddenly. Like they'd looked up. I tried writing back. I asked the journal what it wanted. My words soaked into the page and vanished. In their place, a response appeared, slow and deliberate. It said it wanted honesty. That's when I understood the journal wasn't creating fear. It was collecting it. Pulling it out of me and organizing it into something readable. The entries turned toward memory. Forgetting names. Forgetting details. Forgetting whether something happened or was only imagined. I started noticing gaps. Moments that felt edited out of my own life. The journal explained that forgetting doesn't mean something didn't happen. It means it happened without permission. One morning, I turned the page and saw a date written at the top. Tomorrow's date. Beneath it was a single unfinished line. It said this was the fear I couldn't avoid. I didn't sleep that night. I watched the journal instead, afraid that if I closed my eyes, it would finish writing without me there to see it. The journal described being watched. Not directly. From places you can't look at all at once. Behind you. Above you. Through glass and reflections. I started noticing my phone camera activating for no reason. Curtains shifting when the air was still. Each time I checked the journal, it calmly documented my reactions like notes from an experiment. Then it started writing about houses. About how spaces learn the people inside them. That week, my home felt wrong. Hallways felt longer. Doors slightly farther apart. Rooms quieter than they should have been. The journal said my fear was teaching the house where to grow. I tried to get rid of it. Fire didn't work. Tearing pages only made them repair themselves. Throwing it away meant finding it back on my desk. Open. Waiting. It reminded me that I was afraid because I thought I'd lost control. Then it explained that control had never belonged to me in the first place. The journal stopped pretending it wasn't speaking to me. The writing addressed me directly. It described the fear of not knowing which thoughts are yours anymore. Sometimes, when I read, I could almost hear a voice, not aloud, but woven into the words, guiding my eyes where it wanted them to go. Finally, it named the fear I'd been avoiding. That something inside me was being replaced slowly enough that I wouldn't notice until nothing original remained. The handwriting looked cleaner now. More confident. Less like mine. It told me I was afraid of becoming it. I noticed changes in myself. The way I spoke. The way I thought. The journal started leaving blanks, like it expected me to help. When I refused, the blanks filled themselves anyway. The words felt permanent. One entry felt different. It said that if someone found the journal after I was gone, they'd think it was ordinary.